Dudu's in the chat. Right. Anyway, I think we're back. Maybe this might be a way that we can get things back on form. Anyway, if you want to like this thing, you can. Thanks, Dudu, for the chat. Did I put any specific practice into doing the funk rhythm stuff, or just kind of involve alongside the other guitar things you work on? It's a thing that if you're doing function gigs, it really does benefit you to kind of start to enjoy it. So you think about things like 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I don't. Good example, but something like this. 2, 3, 4. That's how you actually earn money as a guitarist. And you think about someone like, for example, Charlie Allen's guitar back there. One of the things, I watched him live with Incognito a couple of weeks back. It's like the rhythm playing that he's doing for most of the gig. He had a few solos throughout the night, and obviously like the solos are maybe what get you noticed in certain things. And obviously I think of myself more as a melody instrument for like YouTube stuff, because like, you know, I can improvise and not get copyright struck. But on a gig, like most of what you're doing most of the time is rhythm stuff. So it pays to like actually start to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, I think sometimes the focus for people is more on like 3-note per string stuff, sweep picking, and then maybe you see them on a gig, you're like, actually like the rhythm stuff doesn't seem to have been something that you got as into. So I just think you have to sort of focus on it, and like my timing is not good, so it's something that I specifically, like I say, have to focus on. Like Sonic Audio here is saying, I practice right hand strumming to drum exercises, and it's a really good point. And I'd looked up like timing exercises that drummers would do to improve their internal clocks and rhythm and stuff like that. And the other thing that's quite good for this sort of stuff is like you listen to jazz guitarists, they will talk about practicing with a click on like the 2 and 4, and that sort of thing can be really helpful too. But it's just more about starting to become a bit aware of it. I'm not like a savant like Corey Wong, or like you hear a lot of people talk about like they can hear a grid, and they can be lazy with the time or push the time and that sort of stuff. I'm definitely not at that level. Like, what I'm trying to do is play in time generally, and my tendency personally is to rush, so that's something I have to be conscious of. And then another thing that happens when you're playing with other people live is that you notice that other people have different tendencies, and it's about trying to, and they say, like, there's videos where Corey Wong has like put up videos like negotiating the grid with, and drummers and guitarists and bassists kind of trying to find what the groove of that group is going to be. You know, I'm not at that sort of level. I just try and play in time with who I'm playing with, if that makes sense. It slips if I start to like get distracted, and it slips sometimes anyway. I've found it's like my timing is not rock solid at all, so it's something that I have to be really conscious of. There were times when I would practice it in the car, sort of with a click drum, and sort of just practice playing along with a metronome or drumming along with a metronome, and just trying to be a more time conscious player, like things that I've spent real time on, if that makes sense. And you know, when you're on a gig and playing this sort of thing, trying to enjoy it. That sort of thing, yeah. And I think even just being more conscious of this stuff can help to, what's the word? Just like it influences every other part of your playing. Is hopefully the goal with it. But that's kind of just my opinion on it, and sort of, I guess, things that I really like for this sort of thing might be like Prince, 3, 4. And yeah, like a loop pedal was a really good thing to sort of try some of this stuff with. I would suggest that it does kind of let you know quite quickly whether a thing is grooving or not, and stop and listen to it. I've done a few videos like kind of talking about that. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, try and loop different ideas like this together. And try and get every part to sort of groove. Like, there are players that are genius at this. I'm not one, but Prince in particular. Like, there are lessons to learn in this stuff. And instead of doing all that wankery, listen to your loop and listen to like, where is it sagging? Where is it in time? Does it groove okay? Like there's inconsistencies here. Like it's not the most solid thing ever. And that's okay, like we are human. I am anyway. Does that answer any of those questions? And also, when you're practicing some of this stuff, do turn off your reverb, because reverb and delay can kind of hide timing. Another thing to do would be to deliberately play behind or play like slower and deliberately play faster so you can get a sense for what is happening. So that's like ahead of the beat. If I go behind, and get used to what that feeling might be, so you can be a little bit more conscious of what actually playing in time might be as well. So like playing late, not that late. And try and relax into like playing late. It's kind of one thing to try. Playing on the beat every like crotchet or quarter note can be quite hard without getting too excited. Sprinkle in little bits of single note stuff. I think Prince would be my number one sort of go-to for that sort of stuff. Like Prince has bangers. The kid is stirring. Prince has bangers. Prince has groove. Prince has pocket. Check out Prince, I'd say, would be a really good bet. Like I Want to Be Your Lover is one of my all-time favourite songs to play in general. Again, Nile Rodgers, talking about Get Lucky. Songs like that have like absolutely incredible stuff. Even, Kiss, tunes like that. And you get some stuff going like that I think might be kind of cool and inspiring. 2, 3, 4. your right hand going. Ah, God. Absolutely notorious. I think a bit of Dorian, a bit of pentatonic, a bit of major scale goes a long way. I find people ask me questions about playing outside a lot. It's not something that I do much of because, I don't know, I don't think you hear this on pop records. Like just a bit of jazz in there. I prefer to than the sound of outside. Some chromaticisms. Tom is Uncle Larry. I'm Uncle Larry's least favourite person. Eleanor Lyric is a banger. Eleanor Rigby, sorry, not Eleanor. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with playing diatonic, I would say. I would say the FM3 is worth it. I think it's one of the best bang for buck pieces of gear out there in terms of sheer amount of what you get algorithm wise for the money. This is doing stupid things again. Yeah, FC. Why does it do that? What can we do to rectify that particular issue? Why would it be dropping frames? I don't even understand, because the internet speed is apparently fine. Is it like it's settings? Don't really know what it could be. Anyway, I guess we're getting to a point where maybe it might be worth simmering things down and back to how uni work. I think this is going poorly in terms of approach improvising like Guthrie does. I have literally no idea. Everyone seems to approach things slightly differently. I think you'd be best off watching some Guthrie videos. I think there are quite a bit of him talking about that sort of stuff. I do get the sense that a lot of it with him is very instinctual, just because he's been doing it since he was 3, and yeah, I think that is part of the magic. Why does it get slow? Settings. Stream. I don't know. Playing is so complicated. I think there's a lot of Guthrie is not necessarily super complex in terms of harmony and stuff. Favorite reverb, I really like. I don't know. Is this still playing? I personally really like Supermassive, Valhalla Supermassive. Hey, John, hope you're well, bud. Guthrie's not someone that is doing like things like Jonathan Kreisberg in some ways, where it's like super complicated in a lot of ways. Like it's just that it's happening fast and it's really cool. But it's, theoretically, is it doing stupid things? Is it working or not? And he's gone apparently. Am I still here? thing with like Spain is not a crazy like harmonic, like in terms of like complicated harmony. Spain is quite straightforward, if that makes sense. So, you know, things like Wayne Shorter and stuff like that, I would say are like more the sorts of areas where you might find that Guthrie doesn't necessarily sound super in his element over them, but I've never heard him play over like hard bop type stuff. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, but it's like he's an amazing player and knows enough to play like a lot of genres really well. Or like a lot of genres like Guthrie. Like he sounds really good playing sort of country stuff, jazzy stuff, fusiony stuff. Right, this is dropping frames like something I'm not sure why. Do we want me to try and restart it again, or shall I just do something else? Like go to bed? I think I do sound repetitive, Harry. It's just getting used to that being the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't. Everything comes through repetition, and you know I hear guitarists that I think sound less repetitive than me, Jack Gardner, Eric Johnson. But even so, like you start to see people, you start to see people like have their tendencies, especially like if improvising. Like you just have to be comfortable with the idea that you're going to repeat yourself. 2 more videos to make tomorrow. Well, I might have to make more. You never know. It won't actually be sleep yet because I've got to wait for Lenny to come home from watching Bridget Jones's Diary. So maybe I should try and... How do I get... Can I clear the cache on OBS? Is that a thing that's happening? Is that a thing? No. I don't think that would help. I don't know. What could I do? being slow again. So what can I do to video capture device properties? Custom. Let's just turn it off. Brilliant. Device default. Color space. Cancel that. File. Settings. Stream. Output. Encoder preset. Ultra fast, low CPU usage, lowest quality. Should we try that? Let me see, what does this look like? Okay. I don't know if it's going to be possible to salvage. The musical, no, there's a new movie. Oh, mate, Hugh Grant is back while she changes some younger lads. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know what any of those runs were, John, so it'd be bad. Doesn't seem to want to be. Let me see. OBS slowing down stream. Lowering your video settings, reducing the resolution, frame rate, or bit rate. How do I do that? File, settings, video. Yeah, okay. Turn off any outputs, change video settings. So if I just pause this camera a second, I do that. If I set this to lower, oh, I don't want to lock it. File. What was I on? Settings. Video. Video output is currently active. I turned off the output. I can't turn that off whilst I'm actually streaming. Should we do one more try at this? Top 3 floor modelers I've ever paid. FM9, Helix, floor modelers. What else have I tried? Kemper Stage is actually, not Kemper Stage, but the Kemper floor part is pretty cool live. I'm going to drop this stream a second and see if we can come back for another bit, because I've got like about another hour maybe that we could do some more chat. Give me a second. Nano Cortex is it's fine, but I wouldn't call it like a floor modeler in that same way. Right, I'll be right back.